one of the biggest myths about Bitcoin is that miners control Bitcoin, and it's not true. And let me explain why with an example. So let's say we have a proposed hard fork that miners are in favor and most of the community is against. So let's say miners go ahead with this, and most of the hashing power, 51%, makes a change which is incompatible with the previous chain, previous code. So what happens? So miners start minting blocks on basically this fork chain. But if the majority of the community does not accept that fork, then they will start minting their own blocks. And at first it'll be slow, but eventually difficulty will drop so that even if most of the hashing power moves to this fork chain, the original chain will eventually just be a fork. And what determines which chain wins? Well, the one that has the economic value. So even if most hashing power, even if all the miners vote to fork the chain, what matters is can those original miners sell the tokens they're minting? And if the economic value is in the original chain, then that chain wins. So miners have the power to mint blocks, but if they decide to do something that the community opposes, then the tokens they mint become worthless. So that's why everybody that runs a full node basically has a vote. People that aren't miners cannot mint their own chain, but they do set the value of the tokens. And if miners make a hard fork, everyone else that's not mining, that's running a node, will simply reject those nodes, and anybody that starts mining on the original chain will capture all the economic value. So yeah, I mean, technically running a full node, not mining, you have no power to create blocks. But what you do decide is which tokens have economic value. And the reason that running a full node, even if you're not mining, is important is that you're basically voting by choosing which node you're running, which tokens you accept. So if there was a hard fork and you're running the original chain, you're deciding that those tokens have value. Whereas if you're running a full node, again, not mining, and you switch to a new chain, and that's the ones you're buying from the miners, then the new chain has value. So again, miners do decide which blocks to accept, but if they go against the community, their tokens become worthless.